Hey guys, as you can see by the mess on the table, we're doing a lot of product photography today, but not just any. We're doing cheap product photography. And I don't mean that the product's cheap. What I mean is the things that we're using to help achieve those epic, amazing shots are cheap and must-haves within the studio. If you want to know what they are, stick around. We got a lot of stuff to get through and a lot of tips and tricks. Let's get into it. Now, all these tips and tricks I have for you will work with any camera, including a smartphone. Each of these items has multiple uses. The first one being fishing line. I'm only showing you one thing you can do with it, but there's multiple things you can do. And each of these tips is exactly the same. You can do so many different things with it. I'm just showing you one way of using this item to get an epic photo. So the first thing we're going to look at is me using some fishing line. Check out the setup with the finished video. Now you can see in the finished video, there's no fishing line. I took the image into post, cloned the fishing line out, and you're left with that epic looking picture. Now, the next one we're going to get into is plexiglass. Plexiglass is so handy to have within the studio. Let's get into setup and have a look at the shot. Product sitting on foam core, and look what happens when we bring a piece of white foam core in on that left side, how it fills in all that shadow. So foam core, all kinds of colors, can never have enough. Look at when I bring the black in. It's very subtle, but it does darken that left side off just a bit and gives a little bit of a shadowing on that side. Now you can also use it for like a gobo in between. You can see how I'm sliding the piece of black foam core and I'm controlling where the light is spilling and where it's falling onto our product. Foam core, can never have enough. This is about a 40-inch diffuser. It came with like a 4-in-1 kit. And you can see I've got a hard light source. And I just simply put the diffuser in front and you can see how it softens, even on the wall, how it evens out the lighting. Now, look at it close up. Look at the shadow on the left-hand side. It softens that right up. And look how it evens out all the lighting across the board and even wraps around our product. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Can't go wrong having a spare piece of mirror within the studio. Let's get into this setup and check out the shot. You get a really strong reflection when you're using a mirror. If you notice in the plexiglass one, the reflection is there, but it's more subtle. If you want that punch in the face reflection, a mirror is the way to go. The next thing we're going to be talking about is paper. You can get paper in rolls up to like 10 feet wide, or you can simply use cardstock like this. I mean, check out this little setup with the finished picture. That is a color punch. Poof! It's amazing what you can do with a piece of stock cardboard. Now let's talk about blocks. You've got all different shapes, sizes. This is actually a box. I just put it upside down. This is actually a little crucible for grinding stuff within food. Put it upside down, makes a nice little raised platform. You can get these in all different shapes, all different sizes and colors. You can get plastic one, just it's endless. So let's have a look at my setup and the finished result. Now let's have a look at clamps. They come in all different sizes, and I suggest you get them in all the different sizes because honestly, you can never have too many and you're always going to need a different size. So get a bunch of them. Cheap and work amazing. As you saw when I did the fruit roll-up one, I tied the fishing line on to a hole in the clamp, and then I could spin the clamp on the bar and that would help raise or lower the fruit roll-up piece. So that was an example of another way of using a clamp other than this way. So let's get into this one. All right, now you've seen tons of different ways of using some really cheap items that help up your game in product photography. And like I say, I could do a video on each one of these because there's so many different things that you can do with each one of them. It's about getting creative and using what you have around you and some of these cheap things to really up your game. So that's it for this one. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're aware when I post new videos like this. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. So until the next time.